Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Max Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the new Netflix movie called Gray Man that is directed by the Russo brothers, who directed the two Captain America movies and the two Avengers movies. They haven't really done a whole bunch recently, other than this movie called Cherry that came out last year. But today we're going to be talking about the Gray Man with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. This is my review for it. Let's get talking about it. So, The Gray Man is about this guy, Ryan Gosling, the Gray Man, who gets signed up from the government to work and to take hits, kill people, assassinate. He's a assassinator, and he does that. He's been doing it for 18 years, and there's this hard drive thing that he's supposed to get, and he doesn't return it. So they have everybody hunting him. They hire Chris Evans to hunt him down, and that's where our movie goes. So, I was sort of looking forward to it, like, for Netflix stuff, movies at least. There's not a whole bunch to look forward to currently, other than the Knives Out 2 movie that's coming out. So, I was sort of looking forward to it, sort of like, okay, let's see. I don't know. We'll see how it is. I was just hoping for a good action movie, and that's all I needed, just a good action movie. And so after seeing it, I've been sort of thinking about it, and so let's just get started with the good here for this movie, and I will say it is a very good action movie. I love the use of lighting and noise and sound that they use in this movie. The use of music in some scenes works really well. The actors, Ryan Gosling, Anna de Armas, and Chris Evans are like the main three in here. I think Chris Evans, great job. Ryan Gosling, great job. Anna de Armas, we've seen her do quite a few of these things. She was in No Time to Die last year, and so I'm pretty fairly familiar with her and these sort of movies. And Chris Evans, he got to play a villain. He got to have a mustache, and he got to fight Ryan Gosling quite a few times. So that was my big thing. I really enjoyed his character. It was so just not Captain America in a sort of similar movie to Captain America the Winter Soldier, although not as stylized, more grounded, I would say. And it's just great to see him play this villainous role, much like in Knives Out. And so I enjoyed all of that. The movie feels like the right length. It's right around 2 hours. It's a bit longer. And then, like, the first half an hour, I wasn't getting any emotional beats. But later in the movie, like, second act, they introduced some stuff, and it just worked really well by the end of the film, how they closed it out and how it worked. I wasn't expecting that as much, and it was just nice to see it. The Russo brothers do a great job here with just directing and doing their stuff, moving the camera around, doing these long sweeping shots while also having great action, hand-to-hand combat, and all this. Everything is shot great. I love the use of sound and the light, as I've already said, and how the plot goes, how everything ends. And we get like one great action movie a year. 2020 we didn't get anything, but 2021 is sort of made up for it when we got Boss Level and Nobody, and then we've been getting the John Wick movies, and there was the Bourne movies, and then we always have a James Bond movie coming out every once in a while. So we have a fair amount of action movies that come out, and I thought this one was once again just probably the best just straight up action movie of the year so far. Not like it doesn't have the best action of the year, but it's the best just action movie of the year. And I thought it was solid enough. Is it as good as John Wick? No way. Jason Bourne? No way. James Bond? Maybe some of the worst James Bond movies, but it's solid enough. I don't really like it as much as the ones that we had last year with Nobody and Boss Level, but this one was just good enough, solid enough Netflix original action movie. So if we're getting into more of the mixed things, I don't really feel like there was a big amount of emotional beats here. That was the big thing that was missing. This is actually probably the bad section. If now that I'm thinking about the bad, this movie is fairly devoid of emotional beats, and like we don't really know the Gray Man as well. It's just a bunch of action, and then we know he's doing this so that he's not in jail, and I feel like we could have explored a lot more with him. With his dad used to have him like trained so hard to be an assassin, and he's become that assassin, and we don't really get a whole bunch of backstory with his dad after that's introduced. He has this relationship with this girl who he took care of, like, I think 6 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. And pretty good, but still I feel like there could have been more there. The villains, other than Chris Evans, aren't too great. He's the only thing that's really driving. And I would say if you take out the star power here of Chris Evans, the villains are pretty bland. But he's just nice spice to throw into it. There's some characters that they're just, like, after they see that the guys are going to be holding a girl hostage, this one guy, another assassin, is like, you know what, I don't want to be involved in this. And which is weird because his job is as an assassin. And he's freaked out by this one girl. It's sort of weird in some moments like that. Is it the Russo brothers' best movie? No. Far from it, at least. I think all the MC movies that they directed are better than this. But, I haven't seen any of their other movies other than that. I was going to do a director ranking, but then with watching all the shows and the Predator movies, I just like, I don't think so. It's a bit too much. So, the Russo brothers know how to do action. They know how to make a well-done movie, and it's a nice, slick, well-done action movie. But there isn't that big thing that sort of just made it pop as much as I wanted to. Like, Chris Evans there does a great job. Ryan Gosling there, great job, well done. But it didn't have anything that really made it pop as much as I wanted to. I wanted something a bit more. Like, nobody didn't really seem like it had anything that made it pop, but it just did somehow. I don't even know how, but it did. And this movie at face value should be about is that, but it doesn't have that for some reason. So at the end of the day, it was good enough. It could have been better, could have been worse. I had heard some people saying that it was trash and horrible, and some people saying that they were really looking forward to it, but I hadn't really heard anybody say it was amazing. And I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I'd say it's good enough for what it was going for, how it delivered, and probably will be top 20 movies of the year at the end of the year. There's hasn't been as many bangers this year as there was last year. So I thought it was good enough. It could have been quite a bit better. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Originally, I was thinking around an 8, but I'm going 7.5 just because they couldn't land all the emotional beats, and there were some dumber moments in there. And I don't really feel like it's one that I'm going to ever revisit, which is strange because I don't usually revisit movies as much as I probably should because I'm just watching so much. But for revisiting movies, I don't think this is going to be one of the action movies that I'd check out. I'll rewatch John Wick. I'll rewatch Bourne. I will not be rewatching this. So 7.5 out of 10. Good enough action movie that you could watch once. Not the Russo brothers' greatest movie, and I don't know if it's their worst. So that's my review for it. Leave your comments down below if you've seen it, your thoughts on it. The big appeal here was just Chris Evans and the Russo brothers together again. Ryan Gosling, I haven't seen him in a whole bunch other than this. So it was good enough. I enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'm Braden. This is Max Reviews. Leave your comments down below your thoughts on the movie. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Braden out.